Hi everyone. So today I want to talk with you about how to undo things on Git. So it's often the case when you're working with Git, you will make a mistakes. You will make mistakes and it's totally fine. We all do. But the good thing is that Git has very nice mechanisms to undo these mistakes. And today I will cover some of them with you. And I hope that they will help you. Uh, we're gonna be working with these files. I have here a small setup with credentials, login.py, and if you look to my Git status, I have nothing to commit, and in my Git log, I have only one commit. So let's suppose now that we're gonna add chains to credentials. So I will change here username, and I will save it. But when I added this change to be committed with git add commit and now git commit, let's suppose that I will make a mistake. I changed the username, but actually I will write that I changed, for example, the password instead. So it was a mistake. And when I look git log, I see okay, I changed the password. And if I see git show head, I will see that actually I changed the username. So what can we do in this case? In this case, what is happening is that we're gonna change the last commit. Our goal is to change the last commit. So how can we change this last commit from change password to change username, for example? You can do this with a nice commit called git commit dash dash amend. So what git commit dash dash amend does is takes your last commit and replace it with a new commit. And this new commit you allow you to rewrite, for example, the commit message and also to add any file. It will add any file that is in your staging area. It also does allows you to do this combination. And at this moment, we just want to rewrite the last commit message. So we're gonna write git commit dash dash amend. To open up this uh, editor message, and we're gonna fix this. This was actually username. And we can even add some information. New username, add. Okay, so now git login. You can see now that what we had it before, this commit message 1D29 and so on, it has changed. Now it's starting with 919. And you can see that also my commit message has changed. So it also got the change that I proposed. So that's how the git commit dash dash amend works. It allows you to change it, your commit message, and also allows you to add any staging change in your previous commit. Because normally it could be that you don't want to change only the username, you also want to change the password. Because normally, if someone is changing the username, maybe they also want to change the password. So here I put a new password and I will do the same thing. Let me clean here. I will add my file and I will commit. But this case, I already doing changes on credential and they are about to change uh, this authorization process. So what I would do, I will just check what is in my staging area and I will use git commit dash dash amend. So you can see here that I'll be able to add also password. So let's see, and password, the name and password. Okay, so now actually, if we ask Git to show us of the head, you will see here that both username and password has changed. So it means that yeah, we got a new commit message also, not anymore with 919, but now with 85b1. So every time I do git commit dash dash amend, it will create a new hash. And this is important because it means that the git history has changed, and I would only advise you to do that if you have not yet pushed your chains, okay? So yes, that's how it git commit dash dash amend works. But it's totally fine if you are in your local branch and you have not yet pushed these chains, because yeah, if someone already also pulled these chains, it would cause some conflicts about the version you have and the version that this person has, for example. So going to the next possible scenario is when you want to revert a commit. So let's see here, we have two commits. Let's write a commit that we want to revert it. So if we want, maybe go here, and let's suppose that we want to enter a new username. For some reason, we want to add Jonas, and a new password for Jonas would be some password. So we have this two information, and we don't want this information of Maria and new password anymore. That's how we're gonna use. So now the new user will actually be Jonas, and it has a new password. And then we're gonna commit it. So we're gonna replace the username and password. This is just a general message, and we will see it here that we already did this change, right? We committed and everything is fine. At some point, let's suppose that we realize that Maria was actually the only user that shouldn't be, and Jonas is not allowed to do this login. So this information here, this commit here, this change is no longer wished. So in this case, we have clear reasons why we do not want that. So what do we want to do? We want to revert. So this, let's suppose, is already in production, is already running there with this commit message. So for us, it is important that the Git history is clean, and that's why we can use this mechanism called Git revert name of the commit. That's how you would do it. So in this case, let's go and take the name of the commit, which is this one, 6b1fn8. You can just take the first hash ones, and you're gonna do git revert and commit. And you see here that how git revert works. It will take the commit that you want to revert it, and it will revert in a new commit. And this can happen like even if you have commits in between. So it takes exactly that one, and you put the chains reverting this in a new commit. And here we could even say like the reason why this commit should actually be revert. Uh, the username is not allowed, therefore remove it from credentials. This is the reason actually, right? So in this case, if we look now how it looks, you can see that it was created a new commit here just to replace this commit 6bf1, which was the one that we made a mistake by putting a username that should not be there, for example. And we leave it very clear what was about it and why it needs to be revert. And this is how git revert works. Okay, so let's see one of the trickiest topics, how to Reset things. So there are actually not only one, but three ways to reset things on Git. And we're gonna go over that, but in order for you to understand that, you have to understand what is the Git tree. So the Git tree, for you to understand, is how the flow of the process of adding a commit works, for example. So when we do things on Git, for example, if I go in login.py and I just add something here, like really just add something. I'll just put it here that I am adding a script, for example, add a script for login, and I will have it here. So you can see now with git status where are these chains. So these chains are actually in the working directory, which is this first one here. So that's where first your chains goes. And then when you add that file to be committed and you do git status, you will see that your change will be now in the staging area. So what is which one of them? So working directory is where your project files are in your file system. And the staging areas is kind of a preview of the next commit. It's kind of I'm ready to be committed, just write the message to commit or add more things to be committed. So it's like a preview of what is next to be committed. What is missing here? Committed message, of course. So once that I write a committed message about my chains, so I can say add docs, add docs in login.py. Okay, I add something and now this change will be in the Git repository and we can also see here that we have change in our commit, we have a new commit for it and Git will keep those change on this .git repository. You can easily see that here is .git and if you go on it, you will see that you have a lot of things here, including branch, commits, description, and so on, hooks, the whole structure that makes this magic of saving things on Git and keeping the history of things. So it's quite cool if you want to just go around and see how it works. I really advise. But going back, this is how these three things work. Once that you add something, it will go from working directory to the staging area. And once that you commit it, it will go from the staging area to the Git repository. That it was how it works. And you can see it here that I just put an example. If I have a first version of something and I add it from the work directory, to go to the staging area and then to the Git repository. So that's how would the flow goes. And we just saw it here in an example. So what happens if I keep trying, keep making changes in that repository? So for the new change, if I do a new change now in credentials, it will go again from working directory to the staging area until reach the Git repository, okay? So what happens, what is there happen in the Git repository? So in the Git repository, in the first time that we did it or changed, uh, it was first pointing to credentials, this orange time. But once we have more change, it will be the head will be pointing to the latest change. So that's how you can see it here. When you use git reset dash dash soft head one, what it will do, it will move your head from the latest one to one previous to that. So it will move the head from the version 2 of that snapshot to the version 1 of that snapshot. So it will be a new snapshot, of course, but that is how it will go. And it will be easy to understand if we do that here. So let's suppose that we're gonna reset this commit 3C 0933. Let's do that and see how it goes. So I will clean it here and I will just write it here. Soft head one. So here, how does it look like? So it looks like now whatever, if I maybe do git diff, no git diff I cannot see, but if I see these chains are about to be commit, let's see what is there now. So it's here, these chains. Okay, so there's the change that it's about to be commit. And how is my git log? Okay, actually that commit that we just did it disappeared. It is no longer there. What was done? It was the changes that were there in the Git repository from the latest version were put back in the staging area. So it's like taking what is here and putting back here. So nothing is there anymore because the head now of the Git repository is pointing to credentials. So that's how it will look like. So at this point, we have it here, this change here. We can either maybe modify more of it. Let's see. I don't want to say only that. I want to say uh, add the script for login uh, in the app, blah, 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 in the company's app. So I added more things here. Let's see how they are. So now I have a part that is modified and a part that is not modified. And I will just add it also this part that is modified. And from there, I can do a lot of things. I can actually restore this, or I can do whatever I feel like. In this case, uh, I would just commit it again. So I'll say add docs. Okay, change, improve docs. That's how we did it. Okay. Oops, make a mistake. Here. So that's how we did it. We added this change and we make a new commit. Okay, but yeah, that is clear how git reset soft dash dash has git reset dash dash soft works. It will take your change and will put it back in the staging area. And now you can see it here in a graph. How would it look like? So whatever it was in the Git repository in the version 2 will be moved back to staging area. And from the staging area, you can manually also move it back to working directory. You can commit it again. That is up to you what you will change from there. But that's the mechanism that Git gives you. And this is one of them. The other one is git reset dash dash mixed. So uh, we're just gonna do the same. Let's see what we have it here. So let's just, for the sake of learning, let's just reset the last one again and with git reset dash dash mix. So you will see that they will be different in this case. They will have different ways to deal with. So here we have it. If we look git log, we are able to reset that previous the head commit, and if we look, let's look what is in your git status, right? So in your git status we have not nothing in your staging area. We have everything in our working directory, so it means that the files they are not kept in the staging area, they are going direct to working directory. So that's why you see in the version 2, actually it's going to working directory. And from here, you can decide whether you want to move this back to staging area by adding, or you can continually add and also commit and we'll go to Git repository. But this is what git reset dash dash mix gives you. Gives you the change that you had in this or working directory, so you can change it, and your commit is no longer there, so it's up to you to add the change flag if you want. So that is how git reset dash dash mix work. So going uh, even harder. So now git reset dash dash hard. How does it work? So I will do it like this. I will see it here, and let's let's clear here. Here we actually have a previous here. We have this change here. If we do git reset dash dash hard here, it will, as it says, head now is my latest commit, which was revert in this case. And if we look at again what is in your working directory, you will find out that nothing else is there anymore, because the git reset dash dash hard in this case is resetting to the head itself, and whatever is in the working directory and so on, they will be deleted. But let's suppose that we have a real chain and a real chain here that we want to also apply. So I will just add something that is not correct here, and I will commit it. Let's just put it like destructive way to commit. So, oops, I think we forgot to add it. So let's add it, credentials, and when committed. So first add, then committed. First add, then committed. So now if we look at here, we have this committed message here. And if you think about it, maybe now, this is just for the example, we want to reset hard here. So we will do the same what we have been doing. We're gonna reset hard to the previous version, previous commit of the latest one, which is in the head. So this goes one commit back, and we're gonna reset from there. Let's go. So now if we go, it says that the head is now here. Okay, so this is the same that we have faced already, right? So we before in the git has that dash dash soft, we are moving the head pointer, and now we already learned about the git reset dash dash mix, which is updating the staging area with some changes in the working directory. So it is moving this back. And with the git has that dash dash hard, it will update the working directory by cleaning up everything. So let's see what is here. There is nothing to be commit. So we lost the kind of everything, and our commit is no longer there, the commit that we had. So it cleaned up that commit. It cleaned up everything that it was up to that commit. And this is a destructive kind of way to reset. I would suggest this only when you are sure that you don't need that change anymore, or you don't want to recheck this change. And then you use git reset dash dash hard. Otherwise, I would always stick with git reset dash dash mixed, because it gives you a possibility either to discard this change or to continue adding and commit it until it reaches the Git repository. Okay, so one nice way is also to undo uncommitted change. So sometimes not everything you are committing. Sometimes you just come here and you wrote something that it's not, how to say, it's kind of garbage. You wrote by mistake something here and you save it. And then if you look your Git status, and git diff, you will see that these changes are there, so they are in your working directory, and you realize, okay, actually, I made a mistake. I don't need this change anymore. Or actually, I don't want this change. So how can you easily get rid of it? So there is a command called git checkout head name of the file. So if I go here and I already know the name of the file, so I go git checkout head name of the file. It says that update one path from 7bf5, so it will match what is in my head at this moment. And if I do git log, I will have nothing there to change. And if I do git status, my file is no longer there. So you can see it here that if it was before, as we saw, it was in the working directory, and now it's no longer there. So it's this state, and is also kind of destructive. Uh, you will not be able to recover that because you have not yet committed anyway. So that's how git checkout works. You also should use git checkout only if you are sure you do not need this change. And normally, yes, take care with git checkout and with the reset dash dash hard. The other ones are safe to use, I would say. This is uh, some of the commits that I use, and I hope that now you can go and solve a real problem, because this is just like, yeah, to summarize some of the undos from Git. So thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time. Let me know what kind of problems you are solving. Bye.